Hi, boys and girls. Today is Tuesday, and after reading about those pteranodons, I was really curious. What's the difference between a pteranodon and a pterodactyl? I'd only heard of pterodactyls before I read that book with you the other day, and so I wanted to find out the difference. We call that comparing and contrasting, and that's what we're working on this week. Compare and contrast. Remember what that means? It means we find out what's the same and what's different. So let's read our story and see if we can come up with some things that are the same or different. And there's my screen again. Let's see if we can go back to the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so this is a book about pterodactyls. Remember yesterday it was about pteranodons. Pterodactyls flew. Pterodactyl was a flying reptile. It lived millions of years ago. It's extinct today. Pterodactyl was not a dinosaur, but it lived at the same time as dinosaurs. Do you know the name of any dinosaurs? Pterodactyl was the size of a chicken. People have found fossils of flying reptiles. Fossils tell us how big an animal was. Flying reptiles had wings. The wings were made of skin. The skin stretched from arms to the legs. Flying reptiles had long beaks. They scooped up fish with their beaks. They ate other animals too, other small animals too. Many flying reptiles had crests on their head. Some crests were large, others were small. Why do you think flying reptiles had crests on their head? There's a strong question. Something we would have to figure out and study, huh? Sometimes these animals walked on the ground. They walked on all four legs. Flying reptiles made nests. They laid their eggs in the nests. Most flying reptiles lived in groups. These groups were called flocks. Do you know any other animal that lives in flocks? If you said birds, you were right. Remember when we compared them to birds, that would be another thing that they were the same as a bird. They're called flocks. Parts of a pterodactyl. We got the crest, wings, body, and its beak. Picture glossary. Beak, the hard mouths that stick out. Crest, hard shapes on top of the head. Extinct means no longer alive. And we know that fossils are bones or other pieces of animals from long ago that had turned to rock. So we are able to study things that have not lived while we were here. All right, let's get our organizer going here. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so today I've added this organizer. I like this one better because it has lines on it. And I'm gonna just type mine today. Hopefully you can see it well. You can print this one off. If you don't have this one, get a lined piece of paper, because again, lines I think make it easier. Get a lined piece of paper and draw two nice big circles on it, and the circles have to overlap, because remember, this side over here are for things that are only about pteranodon, and these things over here are only about pterodactyls, and these things in the middle are the things that they have in common or the same. And so we're going to find some things that we can add that are the same about the pterodactyl and the pteranodon. All right, I wish I could be calling on you, because I'm sure you have great ideas about what's the same and what's different. In fact, if you think you can do this without my help, awesome. Go ahead and do it. And then you can check back and see how you did. If you would like my help, stay with me and we'll do it together. All right, I can think of lots of things that are the same. Let's start with some of the ones we did yesterday. They both have a beak. They both fly. They both lay eggs and have a nest. I'm going to put nest with it too. They're both reptiles. Remember last time we said a bird is not a reptile, but these are both reptiles. And reptiles, these reptiles lived in the time of the dinosaurs, but they don't call them dinosaurs, right? All right, did you think of some other ways that they're the same? They have skin instead of feathers. There's lots of things that are the same about them, huh? Now, I was curious because I thought that book was good, but maybe there were some more things that we could find out that's different about them, because in some ways they seem like they're very much the same thing. But as I looked into it, I found some other things that were different. Let's go here again. And I think I opened up, I asked Google, how are pterodactyls and pteranodons different? And gratefully, there was a high school student who had been working on this and reading about it, and they found some things about it. They said the pterodactyl lived during the late Jurassic, which was about 150 million years ago. And the pterodon lived about 70 to 100 million years ago. So the older one is the pterodactyl. Now this one says the pterodactyl has a wingspan of up to 2.5 feet and a short tail. But this one, the pteranodon, is much bigger. I thought of that because I thought yesterday it said that it was 6 feet wings. And this one says the wingspan is over 20 feet. And it weighs about 37 pounds. So the pteranodon is much bigger than the pterodactyl. They said the pterodactyl was like the size of a chicken, but the pteranodon would be much bigger, more like, to have 37, like dogs, some pretty big dogs, decent sized, medium dogs would weigh about 37 pounds. So let's change what we're doing here and go back to this one. And let's say some things about the pteranodon and the pterodactyl that is only about them. Okay, so the pteranodon weighs about 37 pounds. Where the pterodactyl, they said, was more the size of a chicken. Now, a big chicken is 10 pounds, so probably less than 10. Probably much less than 10, probably 5 or 6 pounds, right? So the pteranodon is much bigger. Wingspan, 20 foot wingspan. And this one had 2.5 foot wingspan. So much shorter. And there was one other thing I noticed. The pteranodon has no tail. The pterodactyl has a short tail. So if you got at least that many answers on your paper, at least 3 things that are different, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are the same, then way to go. You did a great job. Don't forget to write your name on your paper. That's part of our heading and part of always doing our work, isn't it? And we were comparing and contrasting, weren't we? Good job. And thanks for joining me and working hard. Don't forget to submit your paper, attach it before you submit it, or just get your mom to take a picture of it and send it to me, because I have such strong competition for that Star Student of the Week that I'm going to be able to only pick those people who submit their work to me. Have a great day, and don't forget our Zoom meeting tomorrow. Tomorrow's at 4 o'clock, and I will see you then. Take care.